My only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive payday, the first fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight, and if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. I don't think this is going to go very well for one Saul.
Canelo's going to definitely ego kick in and want to do a rematch.
No, I don't know. I don't believe that. You know, I think the warrior spirit might want him to have a rematch, but I don't think the rematch is going to do him any justice. You know,
you probably understand that Terence Crawford, coming off his landmark triumph in September, has now agreed to face Canelo Alvarez again. Yet he is gripping the entire deal with a firm, uncompromising condition. And he insists his B-side era is finished, and Crawford refuses to be the pursuer anymore, and he considers himself the dominant force. And if Canelo hopes to reclaim pride, he must accept an unprecedented cost. And this is far more than routine bargaining, and it is a strategic assertion of power, and Crawford intends to crack Canelo's confidence long before the opening bell sounds right from the start.
But it's no longer breaking news, but Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez are apparently in talks for a rematch in 2026, and my only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive payday, the first fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight, and if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. I don't think this is going to go very well for one Saul. Like I said, the Ring Magazine reporting as of about 4 days ago now, I'm a little late to the news, but Canelo Alvarez wants Terence Crawford rematch, says negotiations are underway for 2026. Now, first off, I expect nothing less from Canelo. He wants to get that fight back because, well, number one, it's a somewhat advantageous matchup at 168 for him, and there's not many other matchups at 168 for Canelo right now that offer him any sort of advantages. He says, I want my run back, I want my get back, but I gotta be honest, I don't know how this goes well for Canelo in a rematch.
He is simply insisting on the side of the purse that comes with holding the undisputed throne. And today we are explaining precisely why Crawford is asking for this unprecedented payout, why Canelo's promoters are hesitant to put their signatures on the agreement, and the surprising insider theory hinting that all this rematch discussion could merely be a facade to protect reputations.
You know, to Sergio's point, a lot of the people that I'm been talking to when it comes to this fight, they're not like, it's almost like the air was taken out of them. They're not excited about even the idea of a rematch, or the subject doesn't even come up. Usually the conversations are, hey man, is there a rematch clause? You think they'll run it back? What do you think will win? Like, people just, even casuals, realize that Crawford, he schooled Canelo, man. He really did. I don't think people want to see this fight. I agree with Sergio Mora.
Be at a smaller arena because people already saw Canelo get dominated by the better fighter, and the better fighter will do it again even easier and with more confidence.
Te están hablando de una revancha. Yo creo que es más fácil le va a ganar a Canelo.
¿Oh, sí? ¿Por qué?
Yo lo creo. Pues digo, es el estilo de Crawford, ¿no? Yo creo que Canelo ya no le gana a Crawford.
Sí. ¿Hay algo que puede ser Canelo para ganar o para hacer la pelea más cerrada?
Bueno, pues lo que todos sabemos, ¿no? Yo creo que entrar al intercambio de golpes y pues tirar más golpes, ¿no? Pero digo, ahora sí que es boxeo y realmente pues se preparan ya. Si Crawford le ganó una vez y supo cómo ganarle, yo creo que puede ganarle nuevamente, ¿no? Pero digo, no hay nada escrito arriba del ring. Digo, puede ser que una buena estrategia Canelo y pase diferente, ¿no? Pero realmente yo creo que, pues digo, trae ganas y trae hambre Crawford, y digo, pues Canelo ya hizo lo suyo, digo, ya no es lo mismo, pero digo, con que aprender una buena pelea es más que suficiente.
Let's cut to the financials, because this is where the balance of power has dramatically changed. And in their initial clash back in September 2025, Canelo Alvarez reportedly secured a guaranteed payout exceeding $100 million, while Crawford, even as the top pound-for-pound fighter, accepted the B-side earnings at about half that amount, merely to earn the chance to showcase his skill. And showcase it, he certainly did.
But you hold on. You keep saying this.
Hold up. Canelo, see, this is the thing about Canelo. He sometimes relies on the environment, the hostile crowd, to also help him win this fight. Not only with the judges, but with the opponent. Crawford even handled that. You know, you can't prepare for that magnitude, the roar of the crowd, the lights, everyone booing you. You can't prepare for that. Crawford was ready for that. Even his ring entrance, when he came in with that guitar case, it was, man, that's one of my all-time favorite entrances.
Desperado, yeah, it's an homage to Desperado. Yeah.
Actually, it was Mariachi. That was part one. Desperado was part two. That right there, It was me against the world. That was his mentality. Me against all these Mexicans. Me against Canelo in Las Vegas. Me against Canelo and the judges that he probably has in his pocket. Me against everyone, and Bud shut everyone up. And you think?
Yeah, but hold on.
Canelo's going to be able to do it the second time around?
I don't know. I don't think it's an open and shut case as you do. Let me ask.
The matchup produced an astonishing $45 million in live gate revenue at Allegiant Stadium, proving that audiences were just as drawn to Bud as they were to the Mexican superstar.
I may argue he's the greatest Mexican fighter. He's the most successful, accomplished Mexican fighter in boxing history. And Canelo is 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford essentially jumped up 2 weight classes, 3 weight classes, technically 2, and beat Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo, after the fight, said he had no answers. But Canelo was the undisputed champion, so he had a rematch clause. And as I told you guys in the video I did, Terence Crawford is contractually obligated to the rematch. So Bernie the boxer, he reveals that Terence Crawford is demanding that he gets the lion's share. Now, it was reported the gate did over $45 million, close to $46 million gate. It also sold 65,000 people in the arena at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And so with that said, Terence Crawford was dominant in that night. Canelo got 150 million reportedly, and Terence Crawford got 50 to 70 million, right? And so now Terence Crawford wants the roles to be reversed, as he should. Now, keep in mind, Canelo signed a multi-fight deal with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, okay? That's guaranteeing him a specific amount of purse. So Terence Crawford is saying, listen, I came out on top, as he did. I'm the victor, as he was, right? It was very successful, not only just because of Canelo Alvarez, but because of me as well, as he's right. And so I demand and I deserve to get paid heavily, and as he should.
Now Crawford is using that triumph to his advantage with clear, undeniable reasoning, because his team's point is simple: the winner does not settle for the loser's portion of the payout.
So you cannot sit there and tell me that there is a more marketable fight out there for both these guys than running it back once again. Your plan to have him drop down to 160 and fight Erislandy Lara is stupid. Canelo Alvarez is not going to move up to fight David Benavidez now at 175. There's nowhere to go. Like, Crawford could still try to conquer 160, but who is putting up real money for that? Canelo has already cleaned out the 168-pound division besides Terence Crawford. Where else is he going to go? I just think the more time passes, the more we get away from the outcome of this fight, that's when people are going to start to realize that doing it one more time is in the best interest of both these guys. And for boxing, by the way, because that's another big event that you could put on the calendar.
You're pretty stupid for a smart guy, especially when it comes to matchmaking.
Crawford is now the undisputed super middleweight champion. With the belts, the bragging rights, and the negotiating power, he insists that the roles be completely flipped. If Canelo wants a rematch, he must accept the B-side payout, while Crawford claims the $100 million top share. It's an ultimatum aimed squarely at Canelo's most vulnerable spot, his pride.
His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh understands that Terence Crawford's value is extremely high, and he'll be 39 this September, right? So again, he deserves to get compensated. Now the question is going to be, is this rematch going to sell enough? Well, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh truly don't really care about, the purses, right? He just wants great fights. But is it going to garner the money to pay out those purses? Right? That's where the question lies. But Terence Crawford deserves it. And he's demanding that he gets $100 million, as he should. As he should. He has more to lose than Canelo Alvarez. And he can get a legacy fight at middleweight to now, I don't want to say pad his stats, but to pad his stats. If he competes at middleweight, right, and becomes undisputed at middleweight, that'll make him a 4-division undisputed champion and a 6-division champion overall. Right? He has more to gain than Canelo Alvarez. Right? And he has more to lose.
But Canelo's team is hesitating for reasons that go beyond money. Before their first encounter, the story was that Canelo was too large and powerful for a welterweight, moving up a notion that was disproven. With each round, Eddie Hearn, one of boxing's top influencers, has been unusually open about the possibility of a second fight, even suggesting it's a risky move and labeling Crawford a stylistic nightmare for the Mexican icon.
And you're going to get beat by, I was going to say young, sharp guys. Terence is 38, and I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
38.
Crazy.
You know, I heard Shakur saying last night that he says he thinks he should and will retire from the sport. But I don't know who else is out there for Crawford. I mean, he's only going to want to fight for 20, 30, 40 million. But who is there to fight for that kind of money? I'm not sure, you know.
The rematch, you think the rematch would be of interest?
I don't think Canelo will want a rematch.
Yeah.
I think there's a rematch clause. I don't know.
There's not. Yeah.
So, you know, it's very unusual for Canelo to go into a fight without a rematch clause.
Yeah.
But for me, I just can't see Canelo going, yes, I want to run that back. You know?
The truth is, the first fight wasn't a fluke or a narrow decision. It was a total domination. Crawford revealed Canelo's struggles against elite lateral movement, and precise switch-hitting Canelo didn't simply lose. He appeared completely outmatched. Now his promoters find themselves caught in a high-stakes nightmare.
Hey, yo, peace of the family. I just got through looking at a video that Bernie the Boxer shot. Shout out to my man Bernie over there in Omaha, man. Bernie the Boxer. Shout out to him, man. Bernie, pretty much, as you guys know, Saul Canelo Alvarez is being reported that Saul Canelo Alvarez wants to fight the rematch with Terence Bud Crawford, currently the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. So now, according to Bernie, now this is what Bernie said that Bud told him, according to Crawford. Bernie said that in order if Canelo want that rematch, he got to get paid $100 million. Meaning, Bud got to get paid $100 million. Now, and guess what? I told him the same. It's amazing that Bernie said that, because I told Bud that prior to Bernie coming out saying it publicly. I'm like, look, according to what y'all said, what we heard, Canelo got paid $100 million or something of that sort to fight Crawford. Crawford reported that he only made $10 million. But I'm telling you, he made more than that. You know, he made way more than that. You know what I mean? It's being reported also that Crawford made $50 million to fight Canelo Alvarez. And I'm saying, okay, look, and he was the B-side. Now that Crawford is the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, if Canelo want to run it back, guess what? Crawford got to get the $100 million.
They hold the option to trigger a rematch clause, yet they realize that stylistically nothing will shift in 6 months. If they hand Crawford $100 million, they're effectively funding another humiliation for their star, possibly ending his status as a top-tier draw. Forever they're trapped between a rock and a hard place, appear weak by avoiding the rematch, or look foolish by spending a fortune to suffer defeat again.
Now, again, it's up to Turkey. Whatever Bud can negotiate, that's fine. But guess what? And I know Canelo's the bigger draw. That ain't the point. The point is you lost. He lost to the small guy, the guy that moved up from welterweight, beat you. You know, he showed that he was levels above you, Canelo. So now guess what? He needs to get levels above you paid. That's just the reality of the situation. He made 50 his last fight. You know what I mean? I know he said he made 10, but it is what it is. They say he made, you know, from what I've learned, he made 50. And Canelo made 100. And then now, guess what? They need to flip it. If Canelo want to make 100, fine. No problem with that. But guess what? You got to pay Crawford 100. The $100 million man, let him see what it feel like to get paid $100 million. It's as simple as that. If Canelo want that fight again with Crawford, If Turk Ali Sheik tell him, look, you know, Canelo, we only have 150 million for this fight. You know, Crawford wants 100. If you want to fight him, take 50. See what Canelo says. And if Canelo believe he can beat him, take that and beat him. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is, fam. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. I hope Bud get his money. You dig? Catch you guys on the next one. Leave your comments below. You know my motto, don't beat me there, beat me there. Peace.
However, insiders hint that this whole negotiation could be a ruse. Bernie Thawboxer, a respected commentator who has been closely monitoring both camps, recently proposed a striking theory. He claims the rematch rumors are mostly fabricated clickbait, and that Canelo has no real plan to face Bud again. According to this perspective, the chatter exists mainly to keep Canelo's name trending, while his team quietly searches for a smoother way out.